Greetings, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, heavy metal, hard rock, and other forms of rock music. So we're here today to do albums I purchase. The end of the month has arrived. These are the new albums that I've got for the month. This is the show that we do every month at the end of the month in which I go over the albums that I purchased for the month. And I've gotten now into the habit of opening them if they need opening so that people can see actually what I've got, the whole thing. I'm going to do it right, as they say. So I've got 9. That's a fair number. I think that may be the highest number we've done in, maybe it might be January. It might even go back to last year. I can't remember. But at any rate, we've got 9 good ones, I think, today. We're going to start off with this one. We'll do the progressive albums first. So Jethro Tull's Too Old to Rock and Roll and Too Young to Die. This was one of a couple of, there might be 3 of them actually, Jethro Tull albums that I don't actually own. And I kind of put this one off just because it doesn't get the best of reviews from people too. But you know what? I'm going to give it a listen. It is a Tull album, so it can't be too bad, right? So this was... I think this was released in, doesn't say. Why would it? They never tell you anymore on these albums, you know. But John Glasscock's on it, so I'm going to say this was like 79 or so. Maybe a little bit later. See if we can get anything on it. It tells you when it was re-released. Doesn't tell you anything else. It's kind of silly, you know. You know, and part of the reason I think they do that is they don't want people to think they're old. Yeah, like we're going to think that's new, right? Anyways, nice cover, nice book. You know, all the lyrics, got some pictures in here of them live. That's when Ian Anderson had that wild man hairdo going on. Gives you all the lyrics are in here. And then there's this kind of a comic book type thing going on there. I'll probably read that because I like comics. Yeah, excellent. Yep, very good. I'm not sure what the year was. Doesn't say anywhere. You think it would. You think that might be an important thing to know, but it doesn't say anything. But it's got to be during that era when John Glasscock was still alive, so it can't be too far off that mark from Heavy Horses and Songs from the Wood and Stormwatch and that kind of stuff. Anyways, looking forward to listening to this. I've got so many Jethro Tull new albums on the play. I've got 3 on the playlist and 2 waiting to go on the playlist. Which is a whole Jethro Tull playlist, right? Okay, so that's the first album. The next one out, we're going to open this one. This is the Sorceress from Oprah. Opeth and their album Sorceress. I have this album in my recent ranking of the albums. I really first of all, I quite like this cover. Fantastic, and the back part is really good too. So this was a band I never really followed because I've never been much of a metal fan for this particular band, but that might change now. But this one is very different from those, and we're gonna open it right now. Take the wrapping off. I could have got a used copy. It was in the almost next to the bin that was 18, but I figured, you know what, you're gonna go all the way up. I'll also spend the extra $2 and get a new one. So that's what I did. So there it is. It's got a little bit of a scratch here. Actually, that's not a scratch. It's a tape seal from the top. That's what it is. My apologies. So this has the normal seal that you see there. A lot of these bands get to seal the album from the top so it doesn't slide around. Kind of a nuisance though. And then you got to clean the thing too, of course, which I will have to do when I get an opportunity. This might take a little bit to undo it because it's not coming away easy. But we will try. I might have to use these fingernails here. And my thumb actually is the big one. I can just find a slot to slide it in. It might go good. Hope it's not going to give me that much difficulty, but maybe it will. Wow. Maybe I should go watch some Brendan Snyder. He usually is very good at figuring out how to do these things properly. I often when I'm not sure about something that needs to be done as far as taking care of the albums or opening them properly and stuff, I usually go watch Brendan Snyder. He's really quite good at that kind of thing. And he's probably got the biggest collection of albums I've seen as well, or one of them anyways. Absolutely killer collection of albums. Anyways, there we got it. Maybe should have done this one, at least sliced it open before I started this, but I didn't anticipate such difficulty. It is an album, you'd think they'd want you to listen to it, wouldn't you? Make it so difficult. Well, there you are. Got it this time now. Okay, so here it is. Opeth's Sorcerer. Sorry, now I'm all covered in tape. Okay, there we go. So, opened up. There we got. There's what the album looks like on the inside. Mode. Let's see if we can get the booklet out so we can at least have a gander at that. This one has the little protecting pads at the end of the glass. You'll see them there. They just keep it from sliding out when you open it. Yeah, so a nice booklet. Some nice pictures, a nice shot there. It's almost like paintings. I'm assuming that's the members of the band. Done up in the old kind of King Arthur looking stuff going on here, medieval times. Another one here. And I assume then, you have the lyrics for the album here as well as any kind of notes written in nice kind of stylistic handwriting that you might find in the 18th century. I'm assuming they did that to try and show that this album was a bit of a classical parts to it. So this came out in 2016, Opeth's Sorceress. I do like this a lot. I'm looking forward to listening to this more. I think it's going to be very different from their other stuff. Okay, so that's the first two out of there. Next up, been waiting for this for a month now. Finally came Sonus Umbra. So we will be doing this tonight when we do the What's New. Came in the mail. I love all those little people below. It looks like he's grabbing them and stuffing them in his mouth. Yeah, that's always appealing, isn't it? So this has 10 parts to it. You can see that on the back. The list of the songs on the album. So the album is titled Whiteout, I believe. Yeah, Whiteout. Makes perfect sense, and you got all kinds of skulls and stuff on there. Really kind of eclectic. Anyways, we're going to open it now. I've been waiting for a while for this, but I'm happy to say that it came. I wanted to do it, and I figured, you know what, there's no point in doing it if you can get it and have the CD when you do it as well. Makes for a much better impact. So there's the inside of the album with all the skulls on the album itself, and then a big skull on the inside sleeve. Now this also comes with a booklet, I assume. Yep, here it is. Oops, sorry. Here it is. What exactly is Whiteout? So it's going to tell you a little bit about what this album, the reason for this album is. You've got all the songs, all the instrumental. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I assumed when I bought this that this was all instrumental, like there's no vocals to it. It's unfortunate, but I am trying to get more into that realm where you listen to music that's progressive, doesn't necessarily have elements. So you have your main three guys here. You'll see them all in the top there. Tim McCaskey, Louis Nasser, of course. We all know him from Sea of Tranquility. And then Andy Tillstrom. Oh, Tillotson. So you got three guys, and then you've got a bunch of guys that I think are extras, but I might be wrong. Yeah, there's a few extras here as well. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to listening to this. I've listened to it once when I went online, and then decided, you know what, it's worth the effort to get it. I think knowing somebody in the band is really kind of nice as well, because then you get a kind of a personal feeling and connection to the album. And I haven't had too many like that, but in this case, it's not that I know Lewis personally, I don't, but I'm like most of you, I watch that in the Prog Seed every week, or as much as often as I can. Enjoy the show. I like his analysis of a lot of stuff. And so I decided that, you know what, I'll get an album so I feel a connection. So there you are. Next up, High and Mighty from Uriah Heep. This was a used album that I purchased. I've become quite liking Uriah Heep stuff quite a bit. The newest album really has had a big impact on me. This features some well-known names in it. Mick Box. You see him there. Oh, sorry, you don't see him there. He's over here. You got Lee Kerslake as well. Some people might know him from Ozzy. You got Ken Hensley on there as well. David Byron, the original, I think he was the original vocalist, and then John Wetton here on bass as well, which is kind of different. So this is an album I don't know much about this album other than it's by them, so I'm assuming it's pretty heavy. I'm looking forward to listening. This was released in '76, so yeah, it's an older album, but absolutely think it'll be killer. And the High and Mighty. So there you go, Uriah Heep. We continue our move up. So those are mostly the progressive albums. I don't know if the Uriah Heep might be qualified as that, but it's definitely a great one. So this one was one that I saw, and it was pretty dirt cheap. It's also used. There's no problems with it, though. It's in great condition. As you can see there, no scratches. $1 Billion Babies by Alice Cooper. Also has a booklet. Nice shot here in the middle. US $1 bill. And it gives you the lyrics and a little bit of a note about the album. There's a picture of the band. All of them. $1 Billion Babies, yep. Looking forward to hearing this. This is a highly recommended Alice Cooper album by several people, also produced by Bob Ezrin. So that's going to give it some same year, I think. Am I wrong? No, it's earlier year than I thought it was. It's a '73. So a nice little kind of stuff going on there. Baby on a coin. Yeah, excellent. So now we're going to move on to the next one. This one was in one of my recent 4-album runs. I used it. Jazz, Queen Jazz. I liked this album when it came out. Haven't listened to it much over the years, other than, the Fat Bottom Girls and Bicycle Race, which I've heard quite a bit. But the rest of the songs are all fairly new to me, so I'm looking forward to seeing if this is as good as I remember it being. I'm assuming it will be. The album cover is kind of a little bit psychedelic here. Not really. I don't think the music here is similar at all to the previous 3 albums. It's kind of moving away from that sound a little bit here. A little bit more jazzy, I guess, but we're going to find out when we listen to it. So that's Queen's Jazz from 1978. Next up, another one of the Judas Priest albums. This one I will need to open. I saw this and said to myself, I had a chance to get it used a few weeks before, but decided I didn't like the way the album looked on the inside. Wasn't buying it at my normal store, so I checked it out and looked at it, and I thought it wasn't taken care of very well, so I passed on it. And then I saw it for sale here. $11, I think it's worth it. Those early Judas Priest albums are excellent. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a place for my thumb to slide in so I can open it. Sometimes it goes really easily, other times not so easily. So let's just try this thing here and see if that'll work. Helps if I use the sharp side instead of the dull side. Yeah, looks like I'm going to have a bit of difficulty here again. Seems to be my lot this week. Anyways, there we got her. So yeah, nice shot there of the band. This is one of those albums in that same time period as Stained Class. Some really good inside. I like the album covers on the album CDs on these are quite good as well. So we took out the book here, have a little look at it. So you've got, yep, picture of Halford there. So what year was this album? Let me see here. Not getting anything. Doesn't say nothing. And I find it annoying that they just do that. It used to be automatic. You just looked at the bottom of the thing and found them. But 78. So same year as the Queen Jazz came out that same year. So not quite into the 80s yet, but this has the Green Menalishi on it, of course. Yeah, it's got some interesting stuff on here. Burning Up, Green Menalishi, like I said, Killing Machine. This is a pretty heavy album. Not quite into that middle realm just yet, but, well, actually they are in the middle realm, but maybe not into the kind of as well-known metal albums, I guess. But Green Menalishi's on here, so that's a great tune. I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of that, see what it's like. Now, this one, some people have seen. I used it in my What's New for 1 week. I bought it for that reason. I also wanted to have at least one album by these guys, Anvil, so I took the wrapping off. It's got a nice kind of album cover in it. There's a shot of the guys there. It's a nice album cover as well. They're really good at that particular aspect. Their music is a little bit like AC/DC in the fact that they just keep producing the same sound over and over and over. And if you like that sound, then you probably love the album. Yeah, I've listened to it. It's not a bad album at all. It's got some nice stuff in here. Pictures of Rob Reiner and some other members of the band. Lips. There's the three of them. Nice cover part. Yeah, so it comes with a little booklet as well. Talk about the band a little bit. And this is actually my first Anvil album. I've listened to their stuff over the years. I'm not a huge fan of theirs, but I do like them. I think the primary reason I like these guys is because I saw them live, and there's a little bit of a nostalgia there. Next up, the last one on the list. So this one is a used one that I bought. It's got some cracks in it, but not terrible cracks. I might actually have done that when I put it in my bag to carry it. That's probably what happened, I'm thinking. But this is The Last Time Around by Buffalo Springfield. I now have all three albums. This one released in '68. Nice kind of yellow cover in here. Atco Records. It comes with a sheet, but I don't think there's much to this. It's just a sheet with the songs on one side, album cover on the other. So it doesn't really tell you too much about the album. And I'm pretty sure those cracks came via me putting it in my bag without securing it properly. So there you go. That's the last one. Buffalo Springfield's Last Time Around. I have grown a lot over the last few years to really... I always kind of liked folk music, and I like it more now. But I like it mixed with rock. Same as the psychedelic stuff. I quite like the psychedelic music. It's growing on me, and there's a little bit of that in there as well. So that's it for this month. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of What's New, or not What's New, new album purchases. So if you have, please hit the like and subscribe. Any comments about any of the albums I showed, or what you think about those albums, you can put that in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and this will come out almost within the next hour or so. So hopefully you will enjoy it, and we will see you at the end of next month for another episode of album hauls or new albums I've purchased. So take care and have a good one. Goodbye.